Hello and welcome everyone. It is time for Jim Comics Top Picks for New Comic Book Day this upcoming Wednesday, October 9th, 2019. Man, oh man, have we got another good week of books coming, but when do we ever have a bad week? It is such a good time to be collecting. I say that every week, and I know a lot of you like hearing that, but it really is true, and I've said it several times. You know, these streaming services that are coming online are all going to need content, and so much of that content is going to come from books that have come out recently. It's only within the last few years. Pretty soon you're going to start seeing some of these characters. It may not pan out for a year or so, but there are plans in the works, trust me, for a lot of this stuff that has come out in the last couple of years. I know a lot of stuff's been optioned. We'll get into some stuff that's been announced at New York Comic Con in just a second. But usual, I want to say thank you to all my subscribers on YouTube and followers on Instagram. You're all awesome. I love the communication, the theories, the questions, info. It's awesome. Thank you so much. Normally I do a shout out right now for Comic Shop, but I just want a reminder that I mentioned in my last video that I might be doing an interview, and I'm going to be interviewing Esteban Salinas, who did a lot of those exclusive covers for Black Cape Comics. And I have to give a shout out to one of my subscribers on Instagram, Luis Ramirez. I have not forgot about you, my man. He sent me an image of that rejected cover. Oh geez, when did that come out? About a year or so ago. The image that you'll see it on the screen there, it's wicked. That's the first time I had heard about Black Cape Comics, and Esteban Salinas was the artist for that, and he's done a whole bunch of covers. I've shown you, and the Beyond the Demon and the Sea was the latest one, which is just mind-blowingly good. But I'm going to be interviewing him, and I talked to him. He's going to kind of be doing a live sketch while I'm talking. He'll kind of be doing that in the background. Also going to have Nick from Key Collector on, and we'll probably cover off a lot of the stuff from New York Comic Con that's happening this weekend. Also got Justice for Comics on there, so we'll have a few spec books. It'll be kind of a good, really good. And then like I say, don't miss it, because Esteban is going to be giving away some of his art, whether it's going to be one of his limited prints, autographed and signed, or the original artwork he's doing. He has another cover that he's doing. I saw an image of it, and holy crap, is it nice. It hasn't been released yet. He's not sure if he's allowed to release the image for it yet, but if he can, he will release it in that video, and you'll get an early heads up of what's coming. So anyways, just let you know that'll be Tuesday night. So just want to let you know about that. And talking about Nick for Key Collector, he's at Comic Con right now. You still have the 1 week free trial. Just put in the code Jim Comics. You get a 1 week free trial. And right now with the Comic Con going on, you'll get all the live updates of stuff that's coming out. So it's worth it. It's a great app, and I bug Nick all the time, but he's actually a really good guy, so I like his app. Anyways, get into what I'm looking at this week, and I got some books I got to talk about at the end, so stick around to the end, because there's some good stuff coming here. I'll start with my indies I'm looking at this week. Ice Cream Man number 15. Man, this has been a good series. I've been picked this up right from number 1, and the first couple issues are really jumping in price, so wait till the TV series hits. It's going to be great. 2 covers for that one, so definitely grabbing that this week. It's Spawn 301, and man, I remember McFarlane saying, I'm not going to have a ton of covers, and for 300, I don't know, there was like 15 covers, and the same thing for 301, and I know it's a milestone issue, and he's very proud of it, and he should be. He's put a ton of work into that, and he's funny. He showed a picture of his daughter when he first started the comic. She was like, I don't know, a year old or something, and now, however many years later, I'm not exactly sure how many years, almost 30 years, she's now a surgeon. So he's like, yeah, that's how long it takes to put out this many issues. So it's just kind of a funny picture, but there is a ton of covers for this 301. You grab what you want. Most of them, I think they're all just regular cover price. I don't think there's any limited ones. I'm going to grab a couple. I like the 301 homage to the original Spider-Man 301. Alex Ross has got a nice cover. I mean, J. Scott Campbell's got covers, and Capullo's got covers, and Alexander's got covers. You grab what you want, but like I say, there's a ton of covers for this one. A lot of them, they'll have a trade and a virgin, so, like I say, grab what you want. Definitely grabbing a copy, because it looks like that'll have the first full appearance of that new She-Spawn that showed up in the last issue. And there will likely be new characters introduced, going forward, so still a good series to grab. Thumbs number 5 is out this week, just the 1 cover. That's been a pretty good series, and I think this is the last issue. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. So I've grabbed all those all the way through. From Titan, got Blade Runner 2019 #4, and for whatever reason, at least that's what it shows on Previews World, only cover A is out this week, and then next week is cover B and C. So I don't know if the covers, if they were delayed or something, but anyways, I like that series, and it's all canon for the movies, so definitely grabbing that. From Vault Comics, just the one from them, These Savage Shores #5. That is out this week. And then from Xenoscope, I showed this cover and this book a month or so ago, or a couple months ago. It's The Watcher #3. I love that cover. That is an oh boy cover. Cover A is just awesome. Cover B is really nice too, but I really like cover A. So that is it for my independents. Not a ton of independents this week I'm looking at. It's kind of a lighter week for me, to be honest with you. From DC, I got Batman's Grave #1. This is a 12-part maxi series. There's 3 covers for it. I'll buy it. It's one of those ones where I'll buy a few issues and see how it goes. If it's good, I'll keep going with it. If not, I'll drop it. But definitely picking up issue 1. Joker Harley Criminal Sanity. That is out this week. That is DC Black Label. So I don't know if this is going to be one of those bigger magazine-sized books, but more than likely it will be. Grabbing that for sure. There's a bunch of covers, 3 covers for that one. So, and that's a 9-part miniseries, or a maxi series. I guess that's a maxi series. Got Joker Year of the Villain #1. That is out. There's 3 covers from DC. I've only got the image. I show cover A. There's a blank cover, and I think the other one is there's a retailer incentive cover with a nice looking cover. And then there's a boatload of aftermarket exclusive covers. There's a really nice Jock one. There's a Delato one. There's just a ton of them. So if there's a Ryan Brown one that's really nice as well. I tend to stay away from a lot of the exclusive covers unless it's one I think will do really well. And usually the ones I recommend do well. But if there's some of those you like, go ahead and grab them. I'm not getting any of those. An Event Leviathan #5 is out, 6-part miniseries. There's 2 covers for that, and it sounds like in this one you find out who Leviathan is. So, well, I'm looking forward to finding out who that is. And that's it from DC this week. From Marvel, a few covers from them. Copies from them. I got Absolute Carnage, Miles Morales #3. 3 covers for that one. I bought all the tie-ins all the way through, so I'm going to keep going with it. Amazing Fantasy 15, the facsimile edition, is out this week, and this is probably the closest I'll ever get to owning this book. This is, for me, this is my grail book. I want like at least a mid-grade copy of an actual Amazing Fantasy 15, and I'm still trying to find that stuffed inside an encyclopedia at a garage sale. Haven't had that happen yet, but oh boy, if I ever win the lottery, I'm buying one of those for sure. But I'm definitely getting a couple copies of Facsimile because, like I say, it's likely the closest I'll get to it. Amazing Spider-Man 31, that is out this week. 3 covers for that. I've been sticking with just the cover A for Spider-Man. I have not been all that impressed with this Spider-Man run, and like I've said, I think until the Marvel gets the exclusive rights back, they're going to keep the stories kind of medium warm sort of thing. Anyways, Doctor Doom #1 is out this week. A whole bunch of covers for this. I mean, he's been around forever and ever, but apparently I think this is his first solo ongoing series. This is an ongoing series and not just a mini series or crossover event or anything. This is an actual ongoing series for Doctor Doom. So definitely going to grab that. Anytime you get an ongoing series, it's worth picking it up. Miles Morales #11, 2 covers for that one. We had Ultimatum show up, who was Evil Miles Morales in the last issue, #10, which was the 250th issue. That was a really good book to get. And this will be a good one to get because I want to see where the story is going. And it looks like he's back working with the Kingpin, so definitely going to get that one. Powers of 10, #6. I don't think I need to tell you about this. It is, and this is another one of those. This is the last issue in this 12-part run. There was six of House of X and Powers of 10. This is the last issue in this before the launch of Dawn of X. And this is one of those ones that was highlighted by Hickman at the back of the book on the list. So definitely one you want to get. And I showed an image of the Foreshadow variant on my Instagram. And I'm still not sure who it is sitting in the chair who looks like is going to be the Red King. I mean, whether it is or not, I don't know. It could be, it's called a foreshadow variant for a reason. It could be down the road, you know, several months or a year, who knows. But some people are thinking it's Vulcan. Some people are thinking it's Sunspot. I mean, who knows? I honestly don't know who that is. I kind of think it's Sunspot. I'm leaning towards that, but hey, we'll have to wait and see. But there's a bunch of covers for Powers of 10, number 6. I like to get the cover A for, I've got the cover A for every single issue. And if you can only get one, if you're limited budget-wise, pick up cover A. That is always the best one to get. I've said that several times. And last, for Marvel, I got House of X number 4. The second print is out this week. So that is a really good, those are worth picking up. Top covers, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy number 2. There's 2 Warren Lau covers. There's a cover B, which is really nice. And then there's also another cover C from same artist, Warren Lau, for the same book. So 2 covers for that are both really, really nice. Then you got Joker, You're the Villain retailer incentive. I really like that one. I mean, the price on that one's getting up there already. I don't think I'll be getting it unless I get a good deal on it. That's the thing you got to remember, folks. When I know there's a hot book every single week, and if it's more of, you know, if there's something key in the book, then it's worth getting. But if it's just because it's a hot book because of the cover or whatever, honestly, wait for the price to cool down a bit. It's the best thing to do. You got to roll the dice sometimes when there's a first appearance of what you think is going to be a hot character. Then it's definitely worth getting them. But for the most part, they definitely cool down a bit. And last top cover I got, my old boy cover this week is Watcher number 3, cover A. That's a Marco Mastrazzo cover. I really like that one. So my picks this week are kind of a little light. I got Spawn 301. I don't know that that's really going to go anywhere price-wise, but it is a landmark issue, and it is your first full appearance of that new She-Spawn. So I'm definitely picking that up. Joker, You're the Villain number 1. It's I like that retailer incentive one if you can get it for a good price, but like I say, don't overpay for it if you don't have to. If they're asking too much, just pass on it and move on to something else. Powers of 10 number 6, cannot go wrong with that. I don't know what to tell you about that. It has been a good series, and I've heard some people didn't like it, but hey man, I love it. It's the first time in decades that I've actually been excited to read an X-Men book, so that's done a lot for me. Doctor Doom number 1, that is first ongoing solo series, so that is one I'm picking up. And this one's kind of an honorable mention. I mentioned it already. It was Amazing Fantasy 15, the facsimile edition. Again, it's not one of those ones that I think that the price is going to go anywhere, but it's an iconic book. Your first appearance of Spider-Man in comics, and if you're like me, you're probably likely not going to get the original. But that's a pretty good one to get, so... Anyways, I want to talk about some stuff that's come out of New York Comic Con, and we'll go over more of this with Nick on Tuesday in that video. But looks like the princess from Walking Dead 171 is going to be showing up in the next season of The Walking Dead. Even though Walking Dead seems to be kind of run its course and the viewership seems to be dying down a little bit, still a great series. And but that's a book, if you can get it for cover, I wouldn't pay much for this book. I got those for cover price when they came out. This was a book I talked about before it even came out, is one you should get. But and then there's also, remember, there's the one with the pink signature on the bottom. That's a little rarer. So if you got that one or you found it, hang on to it. Good one to get. So that's one book. And I know I talked about Gideon Falls several times. I talked about this when it first came out. I got all the covers for it. I got the regular, the Jock. I got the blank variant. And I also got is that cover D. I can't remember if that's cover D or not. But anyways, I got all of them. I got a couple copies of each one. This was optioned quite a while ago. I mentioned that. But the nice thing is James Wan has just signed on to produce it, so looks like it's gonna be pretty high production value, and looking forward to that. So those are good books. They've been good ones for a while, but they're even better now that James Wan is behind it. So that's pretty cool. Donnie Cates at New York Comic Con. Of course, Donnie Cates says something about a book and it blows up. He mentioned that Bats the Dog. Marvel has big plans for Bats the Dog. 381 is your first appearance of Bats the Dog. 382 is the death of Bats the dog. Loki ends up killing him. So those two books are really good as kind of your first appearance. He shows up on 2 pages in 381, and then he's kind of throughout the book in 382. So both 381 and 382 are really good books to get. So he kills him in 382. In 385, which I don't have, although I talked to my shop and he had a copy, so he pulled it for me. I'm going to grab that tomorrow. 385, he returns as a ghost. So you've got your first appearance of actually Bats the dog in 381. In 385, on the last page, you get an image of Bats the dog as a ghost. And then 386, which was that start of that whole Damnation series, was your first full appearance as Bats the dog as a ghost. And Marvel having big plans for Bats the dog. He didn't have much of a time in the story as an actual dog, and most of his time was as a ghost. So I wouldn't doubt that in one of the upcoming Doctor Strange movies, you're going to get Bats the dog as a ghost showing up. So that's that whole 381, 382, and then 385, 386 are really good ones to get. 385 is still pretty dirt cheap. I know everybody's going for this 381 because that's your first appearance of Bats the dog, and that's a good one to get, don't get me wrong. But don't forget about 385 and 386, and 382 as well, because 382 is where he dies. So those are good ones to get. And then I want to talk about Captain Marvel #8. I know when this came out, it's funny, I got both covers. I didn't get the Carnageized one, but I got the, cover A, and then the really nice Inhyuk Lee cover. And I also got 2 of the Virgin variants. I can't remember where I got those. It was Unknown Comics, or somebody had an exclusive. I think there's only 3,000 of these, but I got both of those because that's the funny thing. When this came out, I remember people like, whatever, Jim, it's another stupid character. It's not going anywhere and whatever. And sure enough, she's now going to get her own ongoing miniseries, and that seems to be Marvel's formula. They started that back in the 80s with Wolverine. I mean, they've done it several times, but a character will come along, and then they'll do a little miniseries, see how that does, and if that does well, then they get an ongoing series. So the fact that she's getting her own miniseries tells you she's going to be sticking around for a while. So Captain Marvel #8 is a really good one. And like I say, you got your regular cover A, that really nice Carnageized variant, and then if you've got the Virgin variants as well, hang on to those because those are good ones. And then the cover, the second print, you got your first cover appearance of her on the second print, and then the third print as well. So those are both good ones to get as well if you did not get those. And I like how this one's got Ann Starr written on there. I mentioned him in my last video. It doesn't say it on the third print, but it does on the second, which is kind of interesting. So those are really good books to get. I don't know if you saw this, but you probably did, but Donny Cates is going to be taking over writing Thor starting in January. So likely that's going to really kickstart Thor with a lot of people. It sure will with me. And I've been buying Thor for a while. Jason Aaron's a good writer, don't get me wrong. But man, I'm totally expecting Donny Cates to kick it into another gear. And there's already been images of, you'll see some images on the screen of the cover image that has been released, as well as some character design. So it looks like he's changing his character around. And you know, Donny Cates loves Thor. You know that there's going to be some new characters and some new history in there. And who knows if Null's going to get involved, and who knows where it's going. But I mean, Thor was already in the Venom run he did, so you know there's somehow that's going to be all linked and tied together, and I just can't wait. But anyways, that's coming out in January, so you've got a little while. Once it gets announced, that's going to be one you're going to want to get in your pull list. So anyways, folks, that's what I got for you today. There's been so much news coming out of New York Comic Con. Like I say, on Tuesday, going to have Nick from Key Collector, artist Esteban Salinas, who will be doing some giveaways, and Justice for Comics joining me for a live chat. I may even show you what the hell I look like. We'll have to see. I don't know. Anyways, I don't want to break the camera. So anyways, that's it for this week, folks. Happy hunting over the rest of your weekend here, and next week we got some more good stuff coming. Talk to you later in the week. Bye for now.